possible to name individual pages on the memory card. To locate your cell, we suggest that you simply meet in the center of the drill hall in front of the reviewing stand. Recruit Training Command is a non-smoking facility. We appreciate your cooperation by not smoking on board the command today.
I like to see our hands, their lives are running. We really trust each other. I can only see so many things at one time. You have to tell me when I'm messing up, and I gotta be able to tell you when you're messing up, and just take it into consideration and keep it on. They have to be very resilient, super flexible to change. They have to have the head in the game at all times. Now our crew, pretty much not going to launch a plane on like they finish shows down.
The whole time we're under constant world, we got the yellow receptors, we got the freaks, we're also, they're all from the air and charge of time.
The red shirts is ordnance and crash and salvage. Purple shirts are fuel. The blue shirts are truckers. Green shirts, those are the maintainers. Brown shirts are the main guys. We have the yellow shirts. That's our ladies listed.
How many more people do you need up there? Everybody plays all of it in order to, if it's not highlighted, it's not filled. We're still waiting for everybody else to dial in this group. There's still 3 seats there. An extra seat here. We got a lot of Cause I could let Chief Cortez go over there. There's over there. At the door. Standing there and find someone set up this way. Screen. No, he's like the lights. I don't care. We just want to make it look like it's full. All his copies. Oh, really? What about poetry?
Good morning, and welcome to Midway Ceremonial Drill Hall. Today's graduates will be standing at ground level during the ceremony. With this in mind, we encourage you to sit as high as possible in the bleachers. This will not only provide the best view during the ceremony, but it is also ideal for photography.
Everybody here is a bride of Naval Information Forces. So you guys have been trained for 37 weeks. You're going to get on the win some of the most sophisticated craft in the world. Special operations units from meter, maritime mobility, insertion, extraction, element. I am a special warfare for that craft. I am a quiet professional. I am tested, dedicated to achieving excellence. I am disciplined, confident, and highly motivated. A lot of times, folks see guys in the run on boats and they assume the SEAL what exactly is this. Swifter's really the best kept secret in the entire United States. Different pipelines, different capabilities. We operate with some of the most special operations forces in the world. My heritage comes from sailors who operated from boats in World War II.
I want to say I killed it.
Trace our engagement back to
Admiral Fogo.
being called
He's the commander of pretty much
personally that operates
commander
that, that legacy is carried forward. There's only 800 special warfare combatant craft.
Yeah, warrior toughness, and now I'm going to bring the scene out.
forged through very demanding
Warrior toughness.
and they are the kind of operators that get the job done.
I asked the question.
I am ready for war. I'm close to engaging with full combat power of my craft. My action
No, I just,
sights get measured.
well, before they came up with the PQS for yeah, I was asking questions. And then, I have, yeah, I guess. Or, like, 'cause I just wanted to know where the program was going to go.
Yeah, 60 to 65%.
When I got qualified, before it was a thing, I was put on a list for that PQS. I haven't finished it yet, though. So when they came to me to talk to the Admiral, but I was like, you know I'm not qualified, though, right? She goes, I know. I was like, okay. I'm toughness qualified, I'm just not the training yet. I'm going in.
Gotta find like 30 some odd people to fill the dias with.
When our candidates graduate, they pursue the basic special warfare active route. So what that means, they're prepared to move forward to a special team and to operate right ways as well. So these kids are significant. You're going to hurt, they don't belong to you. Just community. And I can promise you, when they feel dishonor, disgrace it, your brothers will take it back. A lot quicker than 37 years of time. It's inherited. We operate high-speed ground here in the yard. We employ heavy weapons and do it better than anybody else.
The type of candidates I'm looking for are more physically fundamentally at the top of the game. We're looking for somebody that has a never quit attitude and anything to
Right now, we're looking for conversion. We're looking for getting those experienced sailors that are currently out on the ships. We're looking at trying to get them to come here and take the SWIG challenge. Never forget where you came from. Never forget the pros and cons. On time, on target.
Your sailors have not been permitted to smoke during training and are not permitted to do so while on weekend liberty. Regardless of their age, they are also prohibited from driving vehicles or consuming alcohol during liberty. Graduates who violate these rules will have the remainder of their liberty revoked and will incur a setback in training. Please support your graduates in meeting these important requirements so you and the Navy's newest sailors may share in the safe and enjoyable Chicagoland weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, for your convenience, our ladies' restrooms are located in the lower bleachers and our men's rooms are beneath the grandstand in the center of the drill hall. All restrooms are accessible by the aisle ways at the end of the bleacher sections. If required, handicap restrooms are on the main level at the center and at the extreme ends of the drill hall. Thank you.
So I actually heard from quite a few people that coming out of the 7th grade is going to be really tough.
Honestly, pretty scary.
When I first got moved, highly nervous, these guys, school and such.
Like being just with like the boys, not knowing anybody going overseas, no family.
I heard a horror stories about how sad it was because there was a lot of like, really scary at the time seeming factors, but I don't think it shouldn't weigh heavy on you. I mean, because everything else makes up for it. I've been in Japan for just about 3 years now, and I absolutely love it.
I was in Japan almost my whole adulthood. I'm on my second tour. So I got here when I was 19.
For my second tour in Japan,
Feel home. Nowhere to be that.
we got here in June of 2012.
I have my first everything. I've been in Japan for 13 years now.
The great thing for families out here is just the level of security out here, I think,
initially the culture shock was the people. They were really nice.
It's still willing to help, just ask.
Yeah, I felt like it would help me grow as an individual and see more culture than I'd ever seen before.
I think that first weekend I was here, I was already exploring the mambo, cherry blossom seasons, Spanish festivals. It's always a new experience, and there's always something to do. Getting my certification as a Navy, very family friendly. They have a lot of festivals. We got the Fogo statue, Godzilla, things that kids all ages can do. You don't like big robots. That's something that I've done since I got this chance. Just get on a train and just go to a random spot. Something that just go explore it.
My goal is to go somewhere that I could become the best at my job. I wanted to be completely limited to things. I wanted to be in the way. I wanted to be like fully immersed in what the Navy is.
A lot of this knowledge that you're getting just from doing your job day in, day out, at a high operational depot. And that's the kind of stuff that you're going to be seeing on your advancement exam when you're going on the third, second, first special. And it makes you a better sailor, just getting all the experience that you get up here. It's a lot more fun. Not really as scary once you actually experience it. The people on board work with you. They become, they welcome you. You become family. That's what I think that helps you want.
Because we know that this is it. This is our family and home.
Professionally, you want to be the best at your job and you come from something.
Although I initially shoot my first set orders, I have a second set because that's how much it takes. And I think thank you so much for letting me in.
The first, my love career, yes, family, yes. But it's done both.
I can talk about my man for like 5 days straight and still not be done, so I'm not sure.
My first LPO told me if you have been successful before and you have to lead in your rate, you can be able to handle anything with you.
5 more tours here.
Yes, I live by that. Full heart.
And I was always one of those people who thought to myself, like that'd be really cool, but I'll probably never do it. I took the lead, I came to Japan, and I absolutely love it. And I really hope that it can work out for you as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the design of our bleachers, it is almost impossible to retrieve small items that may fall between them during the ceremony. However, if items are lost, please contact the lost and found following the ceremony. If you or a member of your party requires wheelchair assistance following the ceremony, please remain seated and help will be provided to assist you to the visitor center and parking area.
It's been said that the most important thing every man should know is what he is willing to die for. On the distant shores of a quiet beach in the north of France, there is a field dotted with thousands of white headstones solemnly overlooking the English Channel. Those headstones mark the final resting place of courageous servicemen, some English, some Canadian, and of course, American. To this day, the locals refer to them all as the Liberators. 75 years ago, these brave souls stormed toward heavily fortified enemy positions manned by battle-hardened Nazi soldiers. These servicemen fought to liberate the world from darkness. They fought for the ultimate human ideal. The ideal that America is built upon. Freedom. And for that ideal, they lay down their lives on that altar. The altar of freedom. The grit they embodied was not new. Their warrior spirit was forged through a proud history of courage and selfless sacrifice. From Lexington and Concord to the battlefields of Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Bull Run, from the muddy trenches on the Western Front to the force of Battle Wood, from the punishing naval warfare of Midway to the fields of Sicily and the jungles of Guadalcanal. When their nation called, they answered. And while Americans made the ultimate sacrifice around the globe, and here on these beaches of Normandy, their spirit lives on. It lives on through the new recruit raising their hand and taking the oath. It lives on through the soldier, sailor, airman, and marine who serve with honor every day. It lives on through every veteran who ever wore the cloth of our nation. It lives on through every American man, woman, and child who serve their communities and look out for their neighbors. The best way to memorialize these American heroes is to forever embody their spirit, to continue to live by their example, and to never forget the debt we owe all of them for their sacrifice. Here, among these rows of headstones are countless stories of selfless bravery, which have been repeated on battlefields around the world throughout history. Our debt to them can never be fully repaid, but our responsibility to them remains. 75 years ago, these brave Americans embodied true fighting spirit. Today, and every day that follows, the legacy of their spirit is in our hands. And it is up to us to remember them, to honor them, and to ensure that the legacy of their spirit lives on. Forever.
As a reminder, concessions on the drill deck will be closing at 8:30 a.m. The blue chairs located near the reviewing stand are reserved for the division commanders of today's graduates. To assist in selecting your seating, there are signs on the drill deck indicating where your sailor's division will be standing during the ceremony.
So the WTIs, at least for the surface community, they were created in response to an increasing need for our tactical acumen as a community to simply be better. We see that with an increasingly uncertain world and the threats that are very real, especially in light of the Red Sea, our tactical acumen is simply be better. So any notion that the fight is not real for our sailors at sea has gone out the window. This fight is very real, and we have to be as ready as possible. these sailors are eager to learn, they're eager to improve, they're eager to really get underway and do what they're trained to do. So we operate off the PBED model: plan, brief, execute, debrief. So the planning process, we get involved with the ships early on. We work with the teams on their briefs and then help them critique their briefs to improve them. We're there during the execution to train. We also have a data reconstruction team where we can effectively watch a instant replay so that when we debrief, we have an in-depth understanding of what went well, what went wrong. The fights are different, and they in some cases use different sensors, but in all aspects, we have to get our watch teams to work together and to tie all their sensors and their communications together and work towards a common goal regardless of warfare area. Seeing the sailors who are able to maximize the effectiveness of the systems that they have is really cool. Also getting to shoot lots of guns and missiles and torpedoes is really cool. I believe in SMITIC's mission and in the mission of the Warfare Tactics Instructor. I see it change every single day with the sailors that we're able to lead and this focus that we're able to bring back to our community, that is to bring a warrior ethos back and really focus on what we can do to be at our most effective tactically as a surface force so that we can deter and ultimately defeat our adversaries at sea.
Here is a special announcement for our guests of today's graduating performing division. Your performers will require a few extra moments to return their equipment following the ceremony. After liberty has been called, we recommend that guests wait in your bleacher and your graduate will join your shortly. Your patience is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Recruit Training Command is a non-smoking facility. We appreciate your cooperation by not smoking while aboard the command.
So now that we're going into week 4, the Division 229 and the division as a whole is starting to work together a lot better.
Division 229, outside New York,
The standard is set. They have to do what they can do to reach the standard. And that's helping bring them together as a team.
They say that basic training doesn't get better, you get better. And I think that's definitely true.
When we first picked the division up, we could barely get them to stand still and just let their eye fade. Now coming to week 4 training, they've been marching everywhere, every single day together since the first day we got them.
Yeah, our progression, it's been really cool seeing it and just looking back on our PA days and the first day that we tried to start marching and how horrible it looked. And it's kind of like the progression just happened right before our eyes.
The transition is night and day. Every time canvases go on, I was in the back screen. You can hear my voice all the way from
The USA is the best.
The division has come a long way physically, but they still have a long way to go. Here at Crew Training Command, we have physical fitness training 6 days a week. So about 3 days a week, we do some in-house physical fitness activities, which are a lot of push-ups, jumping jacks, different exercises that we can do right here in a small space to get them into better shape. And then accordingly, we go to free call where they get to run. So it's all building block to get them up to the standard that Navy wants them to be at prior to leaving for training.
Yeah, I see my waistline right now, which is awesome. Fitness is going well, you know, it also helps that we can put on our faces every day.
Are you helping the people?
I try to think about that, but we have to do our best to take out the quick little bit. So it has certainly improved.
You got him?
From my perspective, I do think we are different.
Professional, especially who professionalism is, when you're going out of your way to talk to each other. You're talking to each other in inappropriate places. You're talking to each other when you should not be. So you tell me about professionalism. You better fix your military bearing.
Shut up! Here's the point. Conversation. Shouldn't be happening. Good friends. Not in my boot camp. Everything that you gotta do is against good order and discipline.
I'm going to ensure that whatever relationship you're trying to have here, whether it's just good friends, social buddies, or whatever you work with, I want to make sure that it doesn't happen. Do work out regularly.
To honor those who have served, Navy Band Great Lakes will conclude today's concert with a performance of the Armed Forces Medley. As your service song is played, please stand to recognize your service or your family service to our country. The United States Army. United States Marine Corps. The United States Air Force. The United States Coast Guard. And your United States Navy. The drum major for today's concert is musician second class Kristen Gale, and conducting Navy Band Great Lakes is chief musician Thomas Horner. Another acknowledgement, please, for their outstanding performance this morning. The parade of graduates is underway and will arrive at Midway Ceremonial Hall in just a few moments. Please make sure that all personal items are clear of the aisles and the drill deck. Guests in the balcony are reminded that standing along the rail is prohibited for the remainder of the ceremony. We know that your sailors will have many wonderful and amazing stories for you about their boot camp experience. However, at this time, we offer some video evidence that reveals our side of the story.
Good morning and welcome to Recruit Training Command and today's graduation. We are very excited to have all the family and friends of our sailors, both here and online, because you are about to watch the formal transition from recruits to full-fledged sailors in the world's greatest and most powerful Navy. As we honor the accomplishments of America's best and brightest, we must also honor the family and friends of these new sailors. Without you and your steadfast support and devotion, this day would not be possible. Throughout our nation's history, the secret to our military's success has always been the military families that stand the watch at home and support their sailors. The Department of the Navy has made the determination that the men and women graduating today have what it takes, and that is thanks to you. So on behalf of the United States Navy, thank you for the support and care you provide. This celebration is not just for the graduates, but for you as well. Take special pride in what your sailor has accomplished and the tremendous journey they are about to embark on. They are our future. Thank you again for your support and all you do to keep America safe and strong. Enjoy this ceremony. It gives me distinct pleasure to welcome you to our Navy family.
As the parade of graduates approaches, we salute the states and territories whose sons and daughters will graduate today.
Delaware,
Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Georgia, Connecticut, Massachusetts,
Maryland,
South Carolina,
New Hampshire,
Virginia, New York,
North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont,
Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana,
Mississippi,
Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Missouri,
Arkansas, Michigan,
Florida, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin,
California, Minnesota,
Oregon, Kansas, West Virginia, Nevada, Nebraska,
Colorado, North Dakota,
South Dakota, Montana, Washington,
Idaho,
Wyoming, Utah,
Oklahoma,
New Mexico, Arizona,
Alaska,
Hawaii, District of Columbia, Puerto Rico,
Guam,
American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, Virgin Islands,
state flags, order, arms. And now we invite you to join the staff of Recruit Training Command in welcoming the graduating divisions with your applause as they enter Midway Ceremonial Hall and are announced in the following order.
Today's graduating performing units are Divisions 904 and Division 905. Division 904 provides the recruit choir, drill team, and band. Division 905 provides the state flag, color guard, and drumline units for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thank you. Divisions. Right. Face. Section leaders, fall out and collect outer garments. Divisions. Counter. Divisions, halt.
Prepare for review. At a normal interval, dress left, dress. Ready, front, left, face. At close interval, dress right, dress. Ready, front, right, face. Parade, rest.
May I have your attention, please? For the remainder of the review, no one will be permitted to pass in front of the review stand, and we ask this as a courtesy to our reviewing officer. Photography is certainly encouraged, but we ask that you remain seated and off the drill deck. The photographers you will see on deck throughout the review are the official photographers of Recruit Training Command. Division commanders, left or right face, parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Lieutenant Rob Griffin Duncan, Recruit Training Command's Drill Division Officer. I would like to welcome you to today's Pass and Review. Today you will see 10 divisions comprised of 752 sailors participate in their graduation ceremony and soon join the most powerful Navy in the world. Please draw your attention to the unit positioned at center deck. There is the Review Commander and staff. The Review Commander is responsible for conducting the graduation ceremony. Today's Review Commander is Seaman Recruit Aaron Horton from Atlanta, Georgia. Let's give him a hand, folks. Performing today is the staff unit on their 4th week of training. Triple Threat and State Flags units, both on their 8th and final week of training. These units are comprised entirely of recruits. During their night of arrival, all recruits are placed into divisions of 88 personnel and assigned their division commanders. Recruit division commanders form the backbone of recruit training and are the key individuals in the life of every recruit. Division commanders must serve as counselors, disciplinarians, administrators, and military leaders. Above all, they must show themselves as outstanding examples of military bearing, appearance, attitude, and behavior. Each division also has a recruit chief petty officer. This is a senior recruit who supervises the divisional staff positions and leads the division in the absence of their division commanders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the graduating divisions, their division commanders, and recruit chief petty officers. As I introduce each division, they will raise the competitive flags that they have earned throughout their training. As I introduce each recruit chief petty officer, the flag representing their home state will also be raised. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been completed. I will be starting from their right. Division 019, commanded by Senior Chief Petty Officer Jamie Gilbert. Petty Officer First Class Christopher Campbell. Petty Officer Second Class Pedro Collington. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Moses Johnson from Valdosta, Georgia. Division 020, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Joshua Mensos. Petty Officer First Class Erik Outlaw. Petty Officer Second Class Roger Zimmerman. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Khalil Mendingo Etheridge from Albany, New York. Division 021, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Janilo Maglaya. Petty Officer First Class LaShawn Locklear. Petty Officer Second Class Christine Smith. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Henry Locknane from Carriere, Mississippi. Division 022, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Gino Domingo. Petty Officer First Class Kendrick Tanner. Petty Officer First Class Chelsea Cowens. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman David Hazelden from Lexington, South Carolina. Division 023, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Quatavia Edwards. Petty Officer First Class Francis Jobless. Petty Officer First Class Richard Franco. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Kayla Shannon from Denton, Texas. Division 024, commanded by Chief Petty Officer Nova Schmidt. Petty Officer First Class Juan Robledo. Petty Officer First Class Brian Nieder. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Tanner Grubb from Columbus, Ohio. Division 025. Commanded by Senior Chief Petty Officer Robert Hoder. Petty Officer First Class Jerome Santos. Petty Officer Second Class Jenna Fearhiley. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Joshua Piatok from Williamsburg, Virginia. Division 026. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Omar Aliman. Petty Officer First Class Angelo Warnock. Petty Officer First Class Eric Serrano. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Coben McCoy from Atlanta, Georgia. Division 904. Commanded by Petty Officer First Class David Larson. Petty Officer First Class Eddie Guerrero. Petty Officer First Class Jacobson. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Nicholas Camella from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Division 905. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Ryan Grayman. Petty Officer First Class Quenisha Taylor. Petty Officer Second Class Jordan Ilbrink. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Ashley Schnitzler from West Palm Beach, Florida. On behalf of the Commanding Officer and staff of Recruit Training Command, we congratulate these division commanders and Recruit Chief Petty Officers on a job well done. In a moment, you will see the ceremonial side boys, bosun, and honor guard take their places for arrival honors. This time-honored tradition is our formal greeting to this morning's reviewing officer. When requested by the announcer, please stand for the arrival honors, marching on of the colors, the national anthem, and the invocation. As a reminder, military guests shall remain covered throughout the entire graduation ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, one final note. As befitting the importance of this occasion, our ceremony is conducted in a formal manner. However, we do encourage you to participate in today's graduation ceremony by letting your applause show your sailors just how proud of them you are. Once again, welcome aboard.
Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party? Recruit Training Command arriving.
Order! Order!
Commander, Allied Joint Force Command Naples, U.S. Naval Forces Europe, Naval Forces Africa, arriving.
Order! Order!
Our guests may be seated.
Color guard, parade the colors.
Will the guests please rise? Present arms.
Order, arms. Retire the colors.
Present arms. Order arms. Chaplain Bruno will offer this morning's invocation.
Let us pray.
Others simply hope for the benefits of military service.
Our guests may be seated. At this point, the commanding officer would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Then, the unit commanders would face about and relay the information to their divisions. Today's events show how orders are passed through the chain of command.
Divisions! Report! Very well. 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 All the missions present for Admiral, sir. Very well. No sailors.
Good morning, Captain. I present the graduating divisions. Request permission to commence the review.
Very well. Commence the review.
Aye, aye, sir.
Seats.
All right! Rest! Sound off!
for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain,
For purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood
Award winners, left or right face. Award winners reporting, sir.
Very well.
Recruit Training Command's competitive system among individual recruits and divisions promotes teamwork, attention to detail, and pride in accomplishment. Divisions performing above standards throughout their training are awarded recognition flags in 5 mission areas: academic achievement, military drill, compartment readiness, applications, and physical fitness. These flags are carried as a visible symbol of the division's success. Each flag indicates that your sailors, individually and as teams, met performance standards in 1 or more mission areas. A division that excels in training and has earned the highest overall score will be recognized today for this exemplary achievement. Division 0, 2, 1 has earned this honor today, and we congratulate them on a job exceptionally well done. Admiral Fogo will now present this week's individual awards, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Thors, our guest of honor, Captain Lewis, U.S. Navy retired, and today's special guest, Fleet Master Chief Walters.
Good morning, Captain. Seaman Knight reporting.
For achieving the highest overall academic score during recruit training, Seaman Jacob Knight, Division 905 from Corpus Christi, Texas, has earned the Academic Excellence Award, which is sponsored by the Lake Defiance chapter of the Illinois Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. Seaman Knight receives a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor.
Morning, man. Good morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief. Good morning, Captain. Airman Young, reporting.
For having displayed extraordinary qualities best expressing the American spirit of honor, initiative, and loyalty, Airman Zachary Young, Division 022, from New Columbia, Pennsylvania, is awarded the Navy League Award, which is sponsored by the Navy League of the United States. Airman Young is presented with a commemorative plaque and a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor.
Morning, Admiral. Thank you, Admiral. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief.
Morning, Captain. Fireman Wheatley reporting.
Fireman Samantha Wheatley, Division 905, from North Glen, Colorado, is the winner of the United Service Organization Award for best exemplifying the spirit and intent of the word shipmate. Fireman Wheatley is given a commemorative plaque from the United Service Organization. Well done, sailor.
Morning, ma'am. Morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief.
Morning, Captain. Fireman Bibby, reporting.
Fireman Shay Bibby, Division 026, from Rockledge, Florida, is the recipient of the Military Order of the World Wars Award of Merit. This award is presented for meritorious performance during recruit training. Fireman Bibby is presented with a commemorative plaque from the Military Order of the World Wars. Well done, sailor.
Thank you, Admiral. Morning, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief.
Morning, Captain. Steven Sichler reporting.
The Military Officers Association Leadership Award is presented to Seaman Ashley Schnitzler, Division 905, from West Palm Beach, Florida, for demonstrating exceptional tenacity and professionalism. Seaman Schnitzler is awarded a letter of commendation from our commanding officer. Well done, sailor.
morning, man. Good morning, Master Chief.
Good morning, Captain. Seaman Deegan reporting.
Seaman Joseph Deegan, Division 905, from O'Fallon, Illinois, is the recipient of the Navy Club of the United States of America Military Excellence Award for best exemplifying the qualities of enthusiasm, devotion to duty, military bearing, and teamwork. This award places him at the pinnacle of today's newest sailors. He is awarded a flag letter of commendation. Seaman Deegan, the staff of Recruit Training Command salutes you as the finest of this group of graduates. Well done, sailor.
Good morning, Admiral.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Admiral. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief.
Divisions, attention!
It is appropriate to recognize such outstanding individual accomplishments by these sailors with a round of 3 cheers. The adjutant will lead all graduating divisions in 3 cheers for this morning's award winners.
Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
I have the distinct pleasure this morning of introducing our reviewing officer, Admiral James G. Fogo III, Commander, Allied Joint Forces Command, Naples, Commander, U.S. Naval Forces Command, and Command, U.S. Naval Forces Africa. He is a 1981 graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. He is also an Olmsted Scholar and Moreau Scholar, earning a Master of Public Administration at Harvard University and Diplôme d'études approfondies in Defense and Strategic Studies from University of Strasbourg, France. Admiral Fogo commanded the attack submarine USS Oklahoma City SSN 723 in 1998, and he completed his major command tour of Subron 6 in 2007. Ashore, he has served in a variety of assignments, most notably as Executive Assistant to the Director of Naval Nuclear Propulsion, Division Chief, Joint Staff for Western Europe and the Balkans, Executive Assistant to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Executive Officer to the Supreme Allied Commander Europe and Commander European Command, and Director Navy Staff. In Naples, Italy, Admiral Fogo served as Commander Submarine Group 8, Commander Submarines, Allied Naval Forces South, Deputy Commander U.S. 6th Fleet, and Operations Officer for Joint Task Force Odyssey Dawn, Libya. Additionally, he was a NATO Task Force Commander and Joint Task Force Unified Protector. During his last European assignment, Admiral Fogo commanded the U.S. 6th Fleet, Naval Striking and Support Forces NATO. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm Recruit Training Command welcome to an outstanding sailor, Admiral James Fogo III.
Thank you, Skipper, for that warm welcome, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and recruit sailors. It's great to be here today in Great Lakes. This is actually the first time that I have been to Recruit Training Command, and I can tell you that it's been a highlight of my 38 years as an officer in the United States Navy. It's a tremendous privilege to serve so many family members and friends here today, and more importantly, to welcome the 752 newest sailors into the world's finest Navy. For more than a century, Naval Station Great Lakes has transformed civilians into highly trained sailors. More than 3 million in 100 years. Each time, every one of these sailors have selfishly answered the call to duty to serve a cause greater than themselves. Our training program has always been rigorous,
demanding more from recruits than they thought possible. Yet our sailors always rise to the challenge. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to watch some of the training evolutions that these fine sailors have completed. I saw recruits tenaciously fight fires, vigilantly stand watch, and eagerly learn the customs and traditions of our fine Navy that we cherish so dearly. I saw how this training culminated in the final test, battle stations, early this morning. These sailors here today have endured a demanding period of training, and without a doubt, they have proven themselves worthy of wearing a uniform that symbolizes freedom throughout the world, the uniform of the United States Navy. Please give them another round of applause. I want to thank the recruit division commanders, the RDCs, instructor and staff here, who accepted the unique and honorable challenge of shaping recruits into the finest American sailors, maintaining the highest of our Navy standards. We thank them for their dedication and leadership. But more importantly, I want to thank the families and friends of these fine sailors, probably more than 3,000 of you here today. Whether you're joining us in this room or whether you're joining us online, you played an integral role. You helped shape your recruit into a person who wanted to stand up for their country, who understands the Navy core values of honor, courage, and commitment. I welcome you all into our Navy family, and I ask your continued support of your sailors as they begin their fantastic Navy journey. To the sailors, if you are looking for a challenge, ask for orders to my theater. Naval Forces Europe and Africa extends from the North Pole to the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean to the shores of Crimea in the Black Sea. Every day we work alongside our allies and our partners to defend freedom, deter war, and maintain the rules which underwrite a free and open international order. You can be a part of that. You are now part of America's away team, defending freedom, defending this country, and keeping our enemies away from the continental United States. And besides that, Naples, Italy isn't such a bad place to be stationed. Now, I talked earlier about tradition. I said the word twice. I wanted to emphasize it. Our Navy history and our culture is full of tradition. The father of our great Navy was an irascible Scotsman like me. And yesterday I was in the chow line with everybody getting their first pizza in 8 weeks. And I met a lot of people like me. I wasn't born an American citizen. I was naturalized an American citizen. I met Italians, Palestinians, Ecuadorians who've come to this country to be part of our team, to join the fight, to be American citizens, and to swear an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. It was a couple of hundred years ago when Commodore John Paul Jones did just that. In a horrific battle between his ship, the Bonhomme Richard, one of our first warships, and the British 44-gun warship HMS Serapis. With Bonhomme Richard on fire and sinking, the British captain, Richard Pearson, asked Jones, "Have you struck your colors, sir?" Meaning, have you lowered the American flag and given up? Jones answered, "I have not yet begun to fight, sir." And against all odds, the Americans turned the battle and prevailed that day. We can all take a lesson from John Paul Jones and those sailors. As our newest shipmates joining our team, again, I borrow from John Paul Jones when he encouraged young Americans to join the cause. I leave you with this quote from him: "Sign on and sail with me. The stature of our homeland is no more than the measure of ourselves. Our job is to keep her free. Our will is to keep the torch of freedom burning for all. To this solemn purpose, we call on the young, the brave, the strong, and the free. Heed my call. Come to the sea. Come sail with me. End quote. Congratulations, sailors. I look forward to seeing you all in the fleet. And God bless.
Admiral Fogo will now receive the salute of the graduating divisions, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Thors. Please remain seated until your graduates have been placed on liberty. Please join me in one more round of appreciation for our wonderful musicians of Navy Band Great Lakes. Flags. Post. Section leaders, fall out and retrieve outer garments. Midway Ceremonial Drill Hall will be closing at the conclusion of today's graduation. Please check the area around you to ensure that you have all of your possessions. For those families with strollers, please retrieve them as you exit the drill hall. And as a reminder to all graduating sailors, ensure that you are in proper uniform of the day prior to exiting the drill hall. Thanks again to each and every one of you for joining us on this most memorable of Navy days. And without further delay, now hear this, Liberty call, fall out. For the family members of Division 904 and 905, please meet your sailors center deck. They will still need some time to take off their performing gear.